Hello, this is the RPG Crawler, and welcome to my channel update for October 2017. Let's see. First of all, for those of you who are new subscribers, welcome. I do these once a month where I go ahead and give you the rundown of what happened in the last month and my plans for the next month. Those of you who were with me last month, you'll note that I had some very basic goals for the next month to set aside, and it appears as though I fell short, and I did fall short, and I've got this is known as my apology, getting to be known as my apology video, my monthly apology video. Basically, last week I kind of fell down on getting Let's Plays out, and I got no excuse. I was just feeling sick. I was feeling pretty sick for a couple days, 2 days. 2 days in a row I spent dealing with calls and dealing with contractors. So much so, in fact, that while I couldn't do a Let's Play, while I was on the phone so long that I was able to actually finish Shadowrun Returns. And I will do a review of that. I did not get to do any commentary because I was on the phone either waiting or talking to people. But I will be able to do a review on it, on what footage I got on it, even though I had no commentary over. So I'll do a proper review on that. I talked last month about getting another weekly indie thing up where I go ahead and cover things on Tuesdays. And pretty much those of you who have been following me in the comments or whatever, I've been posting that I'm just doing the intro for that. And yeah, I'm doing the intro for that. I want it to last like it's one of those intros where I want to reuse it for quite some time, so I don't want to like half-ass it like I do with so many of my intros. Just take a look at my review series, my current RPG Crawler review series. It's just a title card and nothing else. So I want to do a fairly quick little intro for it. I have already read 3 products for review on that, and I will be reviewing that. I was sent one of them, requested review on it, and I was actually... I really shouldn't spoil it, but it's not a product that I would normally have. It is a product that I would review. It is not a product I would normally enjoy, but I enjoyed it. So at least thus far, I'm going to be looking more in depth at it when I go ahead and write the script. And then 2 other old school systems. So it's basically a series of old school systems I'm going to start that off with. So like every week, like I do my Indie Game Friday, and I'm aiming for putting out like Monday or Tuesday this new indie series. And so far I'm bouncing around with the actual title of the series. So I'm going to go ahead and shoot out some ideas to you guys. Tell me what you think is neat, or if you've got a better idea, fire it off in the comments below and let me know. And hey, you never know, I may go ahead and pick it and try and work it into the intro and everything, and we'll have the name of a new series. So the series will be focused, for those of you who don't know, the series will be focused on independent or small press, at the very least, tabletop role-playing games. It can be systems, it can be accessories, it can be adventures, whatever. It can be old school style stuff, it can be new stuff, whatever. It can be hard copy, it can be PDFs, whatever. So I'm going to try and do one of those a week, just a real solid one. So with that in mind, I'm thinking of a couple ideas for names. There's the simple one, which is Indie Library. There is the idea for a Tabletop Tuesdays, although that kind of veers into other territory because I'm going to keep my main. I'm going to redo my main review thing, but I'm going to keep it. So that's going to be like for major titles and probably for like some more computer role-playing games as well. Tabletop Tuesdays, maybe. Other things I had ideas for were like the Eldritch Archives or the Arcane Archives or whatever. Kind of give it a sense that it's not something that everybody would see, but still interesting nonetheless. But if you've got any more ideas, fire them off in the comments below. I'm kind of brainstorming this still. Well, it's actually kind of silly because I've actually got the draft for the first 3 episodes done. But I'm still throwing around the name itself. So I've got the format done, deciding on the specifics, and you should see those starting to go live in November. And I will probably do a couple, put a couple up on my Patreons when I get them, when I go ahead and start recording them, because those are ones that I can definitely record well in advance. And you will see those, my Patreons will probably see that a little bit before the first one goes live, so they'll be able to give me some feedback on how it goes off. Yeah, as far as other reviews and tabletop stuff, I have a ton of it in the queue, and I just have not had time to edit it, and that is again on me. I've got no excuse for it. I as I said last week, I got taken right out. A bunch of other tabletop live play sessions to post, and I'll be posting those as is. One of my patrons, I run, for those of you who, and there's a lot of talk about my patrons, but a simple fact of the matter is that they've been great. They're making this channel possible, and I am just sad that I was not able to meet my goal of getting all these videos up. I did 3 weeks, pretty damn near the goal, and then the last week I kind of fell off, but I'm going to get back on that track. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I've been doing a D&D patron game for those patrons who are... Technically, it's open to all my patrons, but so far my $1 patrons have mostly been busy, so it's mostly been my $5 and up patrons coming in and out for Tabletop Game 5th edition, and one of them, since their schedule's kind of like meandered for a couple of weeks there, and one of them regularly can't show up for a weekly thing. So I'm going to do like a solo I've been doing a solo one-on-one AD&D 2nd edition game. And he said it was like, I don't want to throw names out there, but those of you who watch live play D&D sessions probably know what I'm talking about. There's a relatively popular one-on-one series that goes way back. It's actually one of the ones that inspired me to do them on my channel. And we're like tossing back and forth. I think we're just like one session in, but once we've got a couple sessions of that, I'll begin putting it up here, and I will be starting to live stream it as soon as I figure out the logistics behind it. As for computer role-playing games, as I said, I've got a review of Shadowrun. I'm gonna make. I've got to do it. I'm gonna do a review of Shadowrun Returns and probably do a review of the Shadowrun Dragonfall after that. I played it. I may as well go ahead and review it, even though it's years after the situation. But I will be getting more of my Let's Plays up. I've got no. Let's see. I don't have any in the queue. I thought I had more footage. I edited the last of my Divinity Original Sin footage. Okay, so it looks like I'll be getting some Divinity Original Sin footage up quick. Those of you who've been following my Underrail, I'm not going to abandon it. I'm going to get like at least 2 weeks. I'm going to catch up on. I'm not going to catch up, but I'm going to get a lot of Divinity Original Sin in the queue because people like that. I'm enjoying playing it, and we're going to go ahead and get that Let's Play well underway. I'm going to I'm going to do one episode of Underrail next week. And then the rest is going to be like Original Sin. I'm going to try and get back up to my 4 a week on that real quick. So it'll be 3 Original Sin, 1 Underrail. And then I'll go back to 2 and 2 after that and kind of go from there. Let's see. What else do I have planned? Let's see. A new review series finalized. More tabletops and taverns. Got one more tabletops and taverns planned for this year. And that is going to be a look on the importance and current. I've already done a review on the OSR movement. I'm going to do like a quick look-see, and examine whether new OSR and current OSR games, like especially the retro clones, still have a place. And I'm sure a lot of people have a lot of things to say about that. I mean, I'm not going to say that they don't. It's like, spoiler alert, I'm going to say they don't. But what kind of place that they have in a world where we're getting reprints of old editions and stuff set out for PDFs. Because it's a little bit different world than it was just 5-6 years ago before they started doing a lot of the reprints. So I will be touching on that, and I will try to bring my insight into it as usual, and try and invite some discussion on that. And then it will be it for this year. And next year's Tabletops and Taverns will be an instructional series. I will still be covering topics, but I will be covering topics from the very basics all the way through. I will talk the series, and I'm going to announce it here, is going to be how to play and how to run Dungeons and Dragons, with a mild focus on 5th edition, but most of the stuff that I'll be covering will be system neutral, although they will be, like, technically I want to be able to use it for all RPGs in general, but especially for fantasy games and those, when rules questions come up, it'll probably be like 5th edition or similar D&D systems. But that'll be, I've touched on some of those topics before in individual videos, but this will be like a step-by-step, this is what you do. And hopefully it won't bore people too much that have watched my stuff before, because I'm hoping to bring a little bit new, or a little bit of new insight into each step all the way through. But that's my entire series, next year's Tabletops and Taverns. And as for whether you should watch it, if you're a DM, or if you're a player, maybe. If you're a DM, I want to say that I'm going to try and bring some very useful tips and tricks in there. In terms of designing things, at least from my point of view. I know a lot of newer DMs have their own way of doing things. That's fine. I got off track on tabletop games again. I mean to talk more about computer role playing games. Let's see, computer role playing games. I've got. I said I was going to do the review on Shadowrun. I'm going to get my Let's Plays up. Let's see what we got. This is where I go ahead and diverge and then mention that I am going to finish up the D&D retrospective, even though, but no, I'm gonna do some retro reviews. I'm gonna try and do at least one retro game review, and it may just be like a top 5 or a top 10 list, or it may cover one retro game in depth. And I want to try that out. It's not actually any different from what I've been doing, because I've been doing them from time to time like that. But I want to try one of them out and do that. But so yeah, my plate is full. I don't believe that I've added any more onto that plate. I've got to go ahead and basically streamline what I'm doing and get it up. I've actually got a good feeling about it, and I know some people are probably sitting there saying, "But you fucked up the last week in October." Yeah, I'll admit I fucked up in the last week of October. But overall, all in all, I think I'm doing pretty good. We're seeing decent subscriber growth. Not huge subscriber growth, but I'd rather be slow and steady to get a good niche of people that like RPGs in all of their formats. I need to get more involved with you guys in the community. I will try out that whole community tab on YouTube. They've added it or whatever. They've had a community tab, but they've added some more functionality, and I need to try that stuff out. YouTube has added sponsorships, wherein you can give dollars or whatever. If you don't feel I'm kind of torn about that, because I understand why they're doing it, and this actually boils down to the whole reliable income for creators. And it used to be you could make a decent amount on ads. Now you really, unless you're a huge channel, you really can't. I can make enough to go ahead and pay for some stuff to review, but it's a break-even proposition. I'm currently on Patreon, and I've been doing okay on Patreon. At least for me, and it's getting me equipment. I'm getting a new camera pretty soon, so you can see other angles beside me sitting in front of my bookshelf talking to you guys. I mentioned that last month too. Yeah, I decided to wait until how they have Cyber Monday or whatever sometime in November. So I'm gonna maximize my my spending power and pick something up on Cyber Monday or whatever. A new camera, so that's good. It's not critical, but I've got so much stuff planned once I get a new camera. But I understand a lot of people don't like using Patreon. I've been trying to make it worthwhile for my patrons. I think I have, but I also know I need to work on it. So I'm looking at YouTube sponsorships. And I honestly, this is where a lot of people say, oh, yeah, go ahead and jump on the sponsorships. I honestly don't know if I won't object. I mean, hell, if you want to do it, I'm not going to object. But I honestly am not sure what to do with it. Because I like to give some value to my viewers and those who actually choose to financially support this channel. I really take that seriously, and I want to give more value. That's why, even when I was sick, I tried my damnedest to go ahead and get something up on my Patreon page for my Patreons. And I know my patrons, I need to do more for you guys. But I try to get something up. And the simple thing with sponsorships is that if someone were to sponsor me at like a level that I got a train coming by. All right, well, train's still going by, but at least the horn's gone. If someone were to sponsor me on YouTube at a level which would ordinarily grant them something on the Patreon, I feel like I would want them. I would want to give them the same access and the same, early access to videos, the same access to my notes in my scripts when I have them, my same access. I've got it's not an official part of my patron rewards, but I've got a Discord, and my current $5 and up patrons have access to it. I'm probably going to make it universal at some point soon. In terms of my patrons, I would like to give access to that. I would like to give access to end credit notations and such. But in terms of how the sponsorships works, I'm not even sure about the logistics behind that. I have no idea how I would do that and keep the Patreon stuff up too. Well, I could update two things. I could put like a page together for my patrons. And then a separate page for my sponsorships. But, I have no idea how I would try and single out the sponsorships. If there's, I guess I'll cross that bridge when I come to it, when I get any sponsors of that level, of that sufficiency. Let's see what else to talk about now. Feedback on the channel in general. If you've got any feedback, I would love to know. I find it odd because I used to get all kinds of feedback on these channel update pages, on these channel update videos, and so far a lot of it has been like minor suggestions, and I've been taking them into account when I can. But otherwise, mostly just, hey, you're doing a decent job, and I don't feel like I'm doing a decent job. I feel like I've been kind of slacking off the last month, and admittedly, a lot of it is because of work, but no, I feel like it's like I want to do more for you guys. Simple fact of the matter is I want to do more for you guys, and the 4 or 5% female demographic that watches me. But no, I really do want you all inclusive to feel like part of a community here. Not necessarily an entirely close community, because let's face it, I'm known as a little bit of a harsh, if fair, but a harsh but fair DM. And it may not be the kindest thing in general. But I guess I'll just keep putting out more videos, keep trying to put out the most amusing videos I can. Well, not really. I'm not an amusing individual. I am far from an amusing individual, but I will try to keep out putting out the most informative videos that I possibly can. And we'll see. Last question. And I always ask this question. but only a few people actually answer it. So I might put a poll here. Look around for a poll. I think it gets put up here, but I'm not 100% on that because I haven't done it. I'm going to put a poll right here. Do you watch my channel for the Let's Plays? Do you watch my channel for the tabletop RPG content? Do you watch my channel for both? Or do you watch my channel to watch some old dude ramble about games no matter what? Go ahead and let me know in the poll. And I will check that poll out and tell you guys the results before my next major channel update. So yeah, we're going to try. I'm not going to set any major goals for November. There is nothing in terms of major goals for November for me. The only thing I want to do is get what I've planned and worked on and what I've already got the groundwork for up and running. And once we see how my new indie tabletop review system goes, and once we see how a more steady flow of general videos goes, and whether it's sustainable or not, then in December, because it's going to be November next month, and then one more month in the year after that. Then December will decide how 2018 is going to go. And I already know how 2018 is going to go for Tabletops and Taverns. But we'll decide how 2018 is going to go in terms of everything else. Got big plans. I just need more time. I need to squeeze every hour out of the day so I can go ahead and put it in here. Yeah, I think that's it. Just let me know in that poll if you haven't already, and let me know any feedback in the comments below. This has been the RPG Crawler with my channel update for October 2017. If you like what you've seen, remember to leave a like, comment if you've got any feedback, and subscribe for more RPG content, both tabletop and computer. Until next time, take care and goodbye.